We're live. Really? Right. Let's do this. Share. I'm back here, fellas. I'm just sharing my screen. And Jesse went to go get his energy drinks. Share now. All right. Share that one. Now let's share Facebook or
Slow.
YouTube.
That's not slow. It's not slow. I watch cars go by here all day. That was fast.
Hey, I'm live.
No, it's not speed. It's not loudness, it's speed.
I'm live.
Okay.
We are live. Your speed. You could be on, I would say.
I got you.
All right, we're live.
Alrighty.
Let it go. In the background. Geo's here and says, "Hey." Let's cover this. So Rich is yelling at the crazy kids on his lawn out there or something.
He said I was going too fast.
You were?
Yeah.
You drove too well?
Yeah, just real quick.
Except at night when I leave, if I'm in my HHR, I go do some crazy stuff down on the street. Susie and her kids take the first warm day and they're swimming in the creek.
That's awesome.
All right. So do you have any of the power boards set up already?
There's a couple in here.
Make a pile of everything where it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And you have all the fans here that are prepped. They're all prepped, right?
Yeah. Everything should be prepped and ready to rock.
Yeah, all the prep ones are in here?
Yep. So these ones are already done.
So weird when this goes wide. Very wide up top and bottom. So what I would say to anyone watching, we're just going to do a bit of production. And so we aren't going to be paying attention every minute to the comments. But if you want to leave comments and questions, when I do take a break to come over and check, we will address them. So feel free to tune in and out as you please. And right now, Jesse's setting up his side and holding the rest of our manuals. We actually have a booklet folding machine. I believe we bought it like from a church or something like that. Once they do their little pamphlets, so we'll print them out, and this whole machine staples and folds them. I have enough length to show that. Let's see. There's a little cut. Not going to see everything, but. Cool.
$6.57. $6.57.
God, kid's speeding through my alley.
That's what it was like. I was like, I'm sorry, Dad.
I can hear you.
Oh, God, I don't want Dad to hear me.
What?
Beat me.
You're trained.
Might have made the wrong way.
What?
Oh, this one's fine. Some of these are made the wrong way. They're like backwards.
That's right. Yeah, all the good ones. I would say I'll do all the acrylic on that side.
Okay.
Even all those pieces.
You do that too on there?
Yeah.
Because that's what I have to use in order to hot glue down the board.
Oh,
Because I use that as a reference to,
right.
to yeah. So know the position.
Then if you have to do that one, yeah, don't worry about the other ones.
Yeah.
Ding. Ding. Yeah, Mark and Chris in the house.
Hey, Mark and Chris.
And Gio.
Jill.
Feel free to play your music in your headphones, but we probably do have to watch it.
Yeah.
So we don't get flagged if it's that. Louis Martinez is here, or is it Luis Martinez? Luis. What's going on, guys? We're just doing some light assembly today. Like I said, no CNC machines, no laser. Just hand assembling some Fannies. This is Fannie. Now, this isn't the standard one, but this is a blue one. So this is what we have, all the pieces, the separate pieces made. We're just putting them together. So what Jesse's doing over there, he's prepping to mount the circuit board. We use a main power board where you plug in to get power and distributes power to the LEDs and the fans. He's going to mount that in there, and the fans themselves, and a couple other little parts, hand them to me. Then I will bolt the sandwich together with the frosted acrylic top, or part of the top, and then it goes to the next stage where there's the black top that then gets acrylic welded to the frosted top, as well as the inserts, the colored, what you see here in blue. Actually, we'll test each one. What I would say to do, Jesse, I'm going to hook up a power supply on the end of the table. And we'll probably test them before I screw them together. So I'll do the testing over here after you. Does that seem like a good stage?
That seems like a plan.
See, the thing is, normally Jesse's doing this where I'm machining all the parts because we don't do it fully ahead of time. I'll machine the parts, hand them to him the same day he's assembling them. So a lot of these stages he does himself while I'm machining everything. And then he'll say, I'm out of acrylic tops, and then I'll go on the laser and make some more. But here, we've had everything made previously. We prepped all the circuit boards, all the plastic parts, everything beforehand. And we haven't been needy to fill orders. We do have Fannies on the shelf there. This is to add to our inventory, especially because we have a show coming up, the Team Deadly Hurts show. It smells. Not a fan of this white paper.
A fan of it?
Yeah, it rips easier than the brown paper.
Yeah. I'll never stop. Now, is it the material of the paper itself, or is it the adhesive?
No,
That's supposed to go onto the actual.
It's usually the paper. I don't know if this is a wax, but it's softer and thinner than the brown. So the brown you can peel off usually in one more solid piece because it won't rip as easy. It's thicker. But when it's too thick and with strong adhesive, it's a pain in the butt.
I remember that acrylic we had before, where it was doing that. The one where you had to always spray it because it would catch fire.
Yeah, that was the wrong stuff they sent us. So I mentioned before, comments and everything are on my screen over there. Since we're out here doing this, you feel free to comment, and once in a while I'll go back there and check. If you have any questions about Spark Innovations products or concepts or philosophy or physics, whatever, but don't require an immediate response, because like I said, they're back there. You can tell us jokes in the comments. We do like those. I tried to make one up this weekend and it didn't go over too well. I was telling a story about the fisherman and his little rowboat. And, you know, once in a lifetime this happens, where a whale came by and knocked him out of the boat with its tail. It's very rare that that happens. It's a fluke. Does anyone get that?
Womp.
In case you don't get it, a whale's tail is called a fluke. And if it happens once in a lifetime, it's a fluke occurrence. Okay. If you have to explain the joke, it's not a good joke.
That could be a dad joke. Sometimes you got to explain those, especially the younger kids, because they'll be like, "Wait, what?"
Olive tells really good jokes. Probably gets them off Google.
Yeah, that's what RA does. She gets them off Google and then runs up to me. Hi, Dad, you hear this joke? Go ahead, shoot. It's usually something I've already heard, and I'm like, I just pretend I laugh at it, like, oh my god, that's so great.
Or did you just hear it when she asked Google about it?
No, I have actually. There was one joke that she told me, and I'm like, I've never heard this joke. I'm like, oh crap. One I don't know.
As long as they're not dirty jokes.
Oh, yeah. Or she tries to make up her own jokes, which is pretty funny too. Usually involves the chicken crossing the road.
Sages are usually about a banana.
Banana.
Not fun, who's there? Banana.
Yeah.
Banana poopy pants.
Most of the time they just can't hang out because they have to split.
Yeah. You're on a roll. Wait a minute. Oh, did you get the answer about the show?
Yes, I don't think I'd be able to go to that because Kim was very stressed out. You didn't even mention it.
Okay, so we'll plan on you not being there, but if you can somehow manage being there.
Yeah, I think her watching my kids is kind of putting a little stress on her.
If you need to convince another babysitter.
I can find one.
Yeah, Susan.
It's more Sophia because of the way she's been acting lately. Hasn't been the greatest.
Well, like I said, we'll plan on without, but if you can manage, then we'll. Also, since you get show pay.
It is true. I did mention it to her. And she's flabbergasted how stressed she was.
Flabbergasted.
I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I'll bring it up.
Are you guys, is anyone watching, planning on heading to the Team Deadly Hurts Jeff Lockhart Memorial Show in Virginia later this month? It is the 27th and 28th of this March. We will have our booth set up. No show car, just my crappy minivan. But we will be there. In fact, I'm going to try and build a new display. Specifically for Fannie. And for our relay boxes and switches, we'll have a display for that. We should have a healthy amount of product there to sell. So if you are in the area and want to pick some up, we'll have it. I also mentioned earlier on my Spark Dead page about the 100th show of 12 Volt Talk coming up. I think, did he say that's the 24th? Wednesday the 24th? About everyday audios. Do you guys watch that? How many episodes are they up to? Someone's out there making a racket.
I think they were trying to start their truck, because then right afterwards I heard a truck start. They said that thing needs some work.
One of those big trucks they got down there.
Yeah, I think so. One guy this morning was zipping around on an ATV. Down there. And of course they had all their stuff out in front, blocking away.
Mm-hmm. The ambulance guy, he was told not to wash. The ambulance is right there.
Oh, he still does.
Yeah, he blocks everything when he does it. You know, there's a car wash right across the street, right down the street.
I literally the one time pulled up and I was like, "Hey, could you just move that for a second so I could drive by?" And he just stared at me. I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll just go around."
Yeah. Are you watching our live?
No.
There's probably 2 people watching.
Are you even watching this?
We were talking trash on you.
Yeah.
Saying how dumb your face is.
Oh, that's nice.
Your face being dumb? I know. I thought it was a compliment.
My son found a little bug while they were on a walk today. And my nanny said, he was so sweet showing the bug how to get back to the grass. That's my boy. And then he was apparently digging in every snow pile they found to see if there was a mystery treasure.
You never know.
You never know until you dig.
Spot of Yellowstone. Flavoring. Snow cone. So do you have a set sequence over there?
What do you mean set sequence?
Hot glue, then...
Yep. Hot glue goes over there, and then after that, that's the fans. Goes on, and LED back. And then it's over to you. Yeah, I can stop at... Let's see how many do I have for here.
Do them in let's do them in groups of 5. So when you get to 5, move on to the next task, and then until you hand it to me. So take 5 all the way up until you're able to pass them over.
Okay.
Someone's truck got started. Let's check out the comments.
No one cares about us.
Okay, Geo did ask how Fannie is supposed to be installed. Under the amps or on the side, and the beauty of Fannie is it can mount anyway. So I showed the manual before, but you can fit. Do I have a screwdriver here? So Fannie could be mounted if your amplifier's here, be mounted right next to it. Say your heat sink fins are that way, and you put the screw down. So right next to Fannie, right? So it's about the height, width of an amp. You can have it off if you have multiple amps, off center if you have your amplifiers on a wall. Screw it right next to the amp. That's it. Now, let's say you have an amp rack where they are on a wall or on the back of your woofer enclosure. You can put this on a board off of that surface if you don't have room, and you can screw it down this way. There's holes under there, so like that. Or you can do a bunch of different arrangements. If you had a sunken-in amp rack with a beauty board, you can make the trim ring around Fannie so that it pulls in air from outside that amp rack and blows it across the amps. You can even have another Fannie mounted the other way where it takes all the air in here and blows it up and out of the way of the amplifier. So there are options, and you can get inventive with them. Let's see. Here's someone's just conversation outside. So it is a nice day here in PA. We're outside Philly, about 20 miles, and it's probably 60 degrees. You don't have to duck, Jesse. You're on.
I know what you were talking.
It doesn't matter. Maybe was it 60 something?
Something like that.
In here, it got up to 70, I believe. Inside,
It's gorgeous.
let's see if it lasts. I do believe daylight savings is next week, or this coming Sunday is daylight savings. So we spring forward.
Hope it's getting close to shorts weather.
Well, like I said, Olive and Sage were like swimming today.
Oh God, I couldn't do it. Water would still be way too cold.
They were collecting worms on the side of the creek.
Wait, what?
Collecting worms. So here's a question for anyone out there. Are you for or against daylight savings? Do you have a background in farming? Does daylight savings do anything for you? A few people sending me messages. I guess they don't see that I'm live. It means they need to pay attention to my page.
Did we get any more of these connectors in?
What connectors?
These guys here. That LED. Okay, guys. I was like, wait a minute. I knew there was another pack in here. Thank goodness.
Are we going to need more anyway?
Oh yeah, at some point, yeah, we're definitely gonna need them.
Are they in the cabinet?
I think so. Yeah, we have enough to do what we're doing. We should probably put an order in now.
So I need to track down our fans.
Do what?
The fan motors.
Yeah. How many guys busted out their classic cars today? It's a nice day. Pull them out.
If it's nice tomorrow, I'll drive the HHR. I have any gas in it.
Well, that's a problem. Just siphon from your neighbor. You'll be fine. We'll never know.
So we use frosted acrylic with black acrylic over it. And the reason for that is because frosted catches the light. We have on the back part of Fannie an LED, LEDs on a circuit board that we made that fire. You see these cutouts here. So where the board mounts, the LEDs stick up to fire right into the side of the frosted acrylic. Like fiber optics, carries the light everywhere that is clear and transparent or reflects off the surfaces. Like if you're under a pool, you look up, it looks reflective. But any engraving or divot or scratch in the surface will catch that light and scatter that beam and illuminate. So we like that, but you don't want to see the whole thing glow. So we use this black top to give it a more durable surface, but also break up. So we have illumination and color and multiple levels of color and finish. And that's the idea of why it looks like that. Maybe I'll light one up for you guys. I do get the other. Here's the small power supply.
It's right over there on my bench.
Here's
Other side.
let's see it.
Should be that. Yeah.
Under your deck.
Ah. Didn't realize I moved it.
bit. Got Aaron Randall in. So it looks like people are tuning in and tuning out, just like I said is all right. I kind of expected that. So are these ones for me?
There's your 5.
Okay.
You show the lovely people at home the next step.
Yep. The next step right now is for me to test them. All right. 5 that are good. So I have to work out where's all of our pieces. Pieces go where? This lead.
Oh, I saw a little V today. I'll tell you that.
Be all you can be.
I literally walked outside the car out the way to open up the shop, and all of a sudden I'm like, "What's that buzzing sound?" And I look up, I'm like, "Holy crap, a bee!" I'm like, "Yay, first bee of the year!"
So now to explain to everyone, again, if you are tuning in, traditionally what we've been doing with Fannie is I would be machining the parts as Jesse needed them, and he would assemble these through these steps all by himself. But now we're trying to adjust our production schedule and procedure, and we'll see if this works for us. And part of it is I have to relearn all the steps, and also we had just recently built this where we were using just stacks of these bins laying around. So part of it is also getting in the rhythm of knowing which bin is which part is in which bin. Wait a minute. Make all the fronts flat or gloss?
They're flat. The only time they're gloss is when it's like green or blue, or because there's no flat for those.
So part of this in testing the procedure is to see how long it takes Jesse to do one stage and how long it takes me to do the other stage to see if that works out to where he can do that, hand it over. So by the next time we do production, we can be more efficient at our, what would you call it? Just the procedure, yeah, I guess that's what it would be called. Well, the steps, the order of operations. That's what. We need to get down our exact order of operations. You have your headphones in?
Yeah. It's too loud.
Yeah, I wanted to get picked up and flagged. Especially Talica. Another small. Oh, there you go.
Right there. Yep. There we go. Some anthrax.
Could do all that gloss. Also, the smaller 1/4 inch. All right, we got a bad connector here. We have more of these?
Yeah.
get? You like it?
Well, yeah, but I can't find a source for it.
Okay. We can make our own.
Well, that's what I'm working on next, but I don't want to wait. We got to get this thing out as quick as possible. So I'm going to take measurements and specs and just send it along. The only thing really is just the reverse of the placement of the dips and the connector, right?
Yeah, I mean, we can mess around with that a little bit. I can mock up some of the parts to check the elimination.
Some of what parts?
The top pieces. We don't need the HDPE coolant pieces.
Well, you said it was really bright, so it'll probably work, right?
Yeah, but I mean, angles, placement. There's a lot to figure out. Clearance that it actually can be made to fit.
Calipers?
Mm-hmm. What was that noise?
What?
Did you hear that outside?
No.
Kind of sounded like screeching tires, but in a very sad way.
In a sad way?
Yeah. The car really did not want to be.
The car just like, no! Why couldn't we stay home?
So if you are watching and you are wondering why certain types of products are priced the way they are, you can see. And this is only half the effort. Well, probably less than half, a third of it. Because we also spend time on machining, laser cutting parts, prepping all these little pieces beforehand, soldering the boards, and then all the time spent in design, setting up the production. So our expertise, our machinery, our tools that we use, all the little parts, all the stuff that goes into building a product, especially, we don't stress this enough, but this is a handcrafted, made in the USA part. So, a lot of people think that is the best you can get. And that should be praised and promoted more. So if you're looking for cooling fans, you could just buy rebadged raw PC fans, or you can go to a handcrafted in the USA, designed and made by a USA company, specific made quality fan.
And they look amazing too.
Yeah, and they're a high-end specialty look.
Yeah.
All these oily screws.
Yeah.
Good to keep the corrosion off.
That is true.
Also, to the people out there that have never seen me work, I try to be meticulous with my motions and technique. so that I don't miss a step or break something. So I sacrifice sometimes speed for being accurate. Not always, depends on what I'm doing. Do. Sweet. We got one viewer.
One viewer?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I think people like it better when we're fully interactive and like covering a topic or something. Or it could be an inconvenient time of day. But we've been on for an hour, so if it was inconvenient an hour ago, it should be better. You should be home by now, people.
Are we not entertaining enough for you?
That's what cell phones are
Not
for.
entertained?
Watch on your phone while you're at work. Especially if you are a forklift operator or construction worker or a school teacher. You know, the kids can watch too. How about that?
It's educational. There you go. This is what the working world looks like.
It's like when Mr. Rogers goes to the factories and stuff like that.
Nowadays, like that Sesame Street does that.
Sesame Street's awesome.
Sesame Street is awesome.
Hello, Frog.
He's no longer a Sesame Street person.
Does he pop in once in a while?
No, he doesn't. I haven't seen Kermit on Sesame Street since I was a kid.
Do you watch every day?
No.
Well, how would you know?
You know what? That's a good point. That is a very good point. Could just make a random appearance.
About this for a topic. Has anyone watching designed or planned or set up an assembly line? If your name is Henry Ford, I will believe you.
Henry Ford comments right now.
They
Should
should.
be a little worried.
It was Henry Ford III or something that was running Ford recently. I don't know.
I wouldn't know.
One of them guys.
I don't follow Ford products.
Are you a shop foreman? Let me know in the comment section. Actually, I'm a fan of Ford these days. I would like, well, it's a couple years old now, the GT350 Mustang. That thing was nice. I am a fan of the Mach-E, although I don't like that they call it a Mustang. It's like an SUV hatchback thingy.
Okay.
But it's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie.
Electric cars.
I like electric cars. We want to try and develop solutions to have big audio in electric cars. It was one of the ideas early on and sparked, but of course we don't have the means to pursue that right now. But we will. At the same time, I still like the loud exhaust on my turbo. Why not both? I actually like that idea of the Orbis wheel. Has anyone seen that? It's a fully contained electric motor in the hub of a wheel. You on my HHR is front wheel drive, so I would mount them on the back, and it would give me an extra 100 horsepower. I don't know if that's per wheel or both wheels. 50 horsepower per wheel, maybe. Maybe it's 100 per wheel. I don't know. But it would turn my car into all-wheel drive, and with the front wheels being turbo, gas, and the back wheels being electric.
The HHR would become a beast.
It'd be awesome. If it's an extra 100 horsepower per wheel, that would put me at 550. I think the most powerful HHRs right now, the big turbo ones, are in the 400 to 500 range. There was a Bonneville salt flat ones that was like 1,000, but I don't think that counts. No. Let me know in the comments, have you ever been to the salt flats? Have you ever been to one of those miles, like the Texas mile or the Georgia mile? Is it a half mile? Ohio has one. Those high-speed events. I think Scotty may have taken the excess power Cadillac to one of those, if I recall.
That's a beautiful car.
And I'm not sure if it was running properly when he took it. So we didn't get a full top speed. They give you, it's a stretch of road or an old airport that has a mile track, and you can just go straight. See how fast you can get. I would think my HHR could get to 160-ish. Stock, it's like 155, so depends on the tires. Or just GTO, probably 180, 90. I don't know what Aero, what that car can do. It has a horsepower to do 200, but I don't think it has the aerodynamics to do 200.
I recently reached 100 in my car.
100?
I was going down one of the turnpikes.
Your little 1.4 liter.
No one was paying attention, so I was like, yeah, there's no cops around. Let me chest this sucker out. Tell you what, I was like, this thing hauls.
It's much scarier to do 80 in my minivan than it is to do 140 in my HHR.
I'm sure that van is probably shaking.
Yeah. And the engine could blow up at any minute.
Oof. Just hope it doesn't blow up.
That's part of the thrill.
It's part of the thrill. It's being stuck in Virginia.
Hey, you might not even be going, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Until you get the call, Jesse, come pick us up.
If I get that phone call, I will gladly be on my way. You guys gotta buy me fireworks now.
Do I have any on the way? I mean, I have big bags of them right there.
That's my payment. Fireworks.
Those are still the ones I got from
I
last
know.
year in Tennessee.
Rich still has his too.
He did buy some?
Yeah. There's like 3 bags. He has full of them. For like 2 bags or something like that.
I must have spent $160.
I just think it's funny when people, because I used to, when I was a kid, I used to this one family, they would buy like hundreds of dollars worth of fireworks. They wouldn't even use all of them. They just have all these leftover fireworks sitting in the shed.
Give them away.
Which is the more scarier part, down in Florida, sitting in a shed. A hot freaking metal shed.
It shouldn't combust. Unless they have also store like fertilizer.
He had his lawnmower and his kerosene canister. He had everything in one shed. Just the kind of guys that don't think about that stuff. You definitely wouldn't think about that.
I haven't gotten very far.
Remember, you don't do this very often.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal if you don't get that far.
This step might take longer than anticipated.
Putting this on. Why don't you use my tool?
No, I don't mean the actual screwing. I mean the whole process.
Ah.
I prefer to do it by hand.
Gotcha.
Doesn't take that long to make screw in the things. All little, and because these are handmade, guys, everyone has a slight difference to it. So they all have their character.
Not one Fannie is the same. They're all unique. Their own special way.
We do our best to design a standard, but the handmade nature makes it change.
Learned that when I started here. Going through some of them, you're like, what the heck is wrong with this thing?
Yeah, one's tighter than the other.
That's why.
Clearance. You can tell I swapped my wheels too fast. I'll go through and drive each screw down. I could do the star pattern over the fans, I guess. But then I'll drive them down a little bit till they're touch tight, and then I'll go and do them all, just so they're more even. So one side isn't cranked down more than the other. it on for a while. Got 5 viewers.
Hello, viewers.
So, I'm going to keep at this. Should I keep the live stream going? Or should we sign off?
I mean, there's 5 people watching us. Might as well.
What time do you leave?
In about 15 minutes.
Okay. It's almost 4:30. We'll go for a few more minutes, guys, then we'll sign off. So, if you are watching and you have any questions, let me know. I'll get this started on this one, and then I'll come back and look at the comments. And I did mention earlier, we are going to the Team Deadly Hurt show later this month, so hopefully you are planning to join us. We will have inventory there to offer and just hang out.
Yeah, stop by, say hi, ask questions, check out product.
Yeah, see the products we have. We'll be having Fannie relay boxes, fuse boxes, switch panels, the new speed controller, voltmeter switches. I did see a comment earlier. Someone said it's nice to have fun and work, and kind of brought up some thoughts. I was thinking, you know, anyone can get a job that they love. You can do that. You have that power to seek what you like. You can also make a job that you love. You can make your own company. Sometimes it takes some resources and gathering skill and knowledge over years to then implement, and that's okay. You don't have to do it right away. Some people do it earlier in life than others. Some do it later. That's fine. What I would say is, if you are doing that, make your own business something you would enjoy working in. But understand there's a lot of stress also with it. Sales are slow, money's tight, and it will be. But you persevere, you keep pushing.
You order stuff and it's all wrong. Or you order something and they get stopped.
I mean, there's trials and tribulations. Sometimes you start a business and then there's a worldwide pandemic. There are people, and I've known people that have opened the one, it's an escape room / axe throwing place down in Delaware.
And axe throwing.
And yeah, and they opened right before the pandemic, and then they shut down.
Now, what if I escape the room with axes?
That's how you escape. So imagine your business is something that requires the public, and then you can't have the public there.
It's like restaurants, man. They're getting hit the worst.
Yeah, they're bouncing back. You know, things in Pennsylvania have opened up in a certain procedure, and it's not too bad. I do bring up the example of, I don't know if it's AccuAir or one of the airbag companies, maybe Air Ride. A week into the pandemic last year, they announced they were going out of business, and they used the pandemic as an excuse, but come on. If it's a week after, you couldn't survive a week. And they were allowed to be open. That's the other thing. You know, they had some other issues going on.
Probably something internal.
Yeah, money issues. They were probably about to go out of business anyway. Maybe that market isn't as strong as it used to be. Here's Subaru.
There's a Kyle with a monster right now. Flat brim hat, revving his Subaru.
Yeah, you never know. There was an old Subaru Legacy or Impreza outside near the VW dealership with its intercooler outside its bumper.
Oh, I saw that pulling in.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, what's going on with that?
Like most Subarus have the intercooler on top, right? I guess he did a front mount and the bumper wouldn't accommodate it, so he just put it outside. I mean, whatever you got to do, right? The only thing I would say is one reason it's on top is those are rally cars. And so you're on a rally, there's rocks on the road and whatnot. If you hit that intercooler, then you're screwed. You lose boost.
Dead in the water there.
You got to limp home after that.
That reminds me of that Jackie Chan movie where he does that. Like,
oh, he has the Evo in it.
Yeah.
And he does all the drifting down the stairs and all that.
Yeah.
What movie was that?
I think it was like Operation Condor.
Which is screwed up. Operation Condor was the sequel to one, like, I forget. When they brought Jackie Chan's movies over to the U.S., they changed the titles, and they brought over the sequel first. I think it's Operation Condor, Super Cop. Not Super, one of those.
Super Cop is, it was like Operation Condor, like 1A or something.
And so they brought the sequel over first, and then they brought the original over after and called that the sequel. But then the way they did the dubbing, I guess it didn't make any difference.
Oh, those were great movies.
Rumble in the Bronx was good.
Oh.
Now, what's the one where Jackie Chan dresses up as Chun-Li?
That was a commercial.
No, it was a movie.
It was a movie? I thought it was a commercial for Street Fighter.
No, he does this whole thing where they form into different Street Fighter characters.
Oh gosh, I think I've seen that one. I'll check that out.
I like the other one. So my friend Rich Wu is a big Jackie Chan fan. So's Tim, and we would watch all the mistakes and outtakes. And there's one where a guy goes to spin Jackie Chan around, and he used a stunt double, but I think it's because, or did Jackie spin the other guy around, and the other guy, his stunt double was it was a white guy he was spinning around, and then the stunt double was an Asian woman. Something, it's like, what? How would they not notice that?
You gotta love those mistakes like that. That's like every time I watch Avengers, Iron Man 2, I always look for the scene where Black Widow's fighting and where her stunt double, who's a man, comes in and you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't look like her at all.
What, in the hallway of that
building? That's so bad. Every time I see it, I'm just like, oh, how did they miss that?
Now, they could use CGI to fix that.
They could, but they never did. And now people see it.
People don't know this, but I had a prop in Iron Man 1 and 2. I designed a light that they used as a computer interface screen.
What? That's awesome.
Yeah. in Tony's house and on his plane.
That's freaking dope.
And we did do some mock-ups of the Iron Man chest light, but I think they went with LEDs instead. There might be some shots that were still our
arc reactor
light. This line. All right, let's see where we're at, and I'll probably end up signing off. Two viewers. All right.
Two youths.
We've been on for over an hour and a half.
Wow.
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear my Canadian friends. Okay.
Hope they brought some poutine.
Most people don't like geese. I love them.
They're awesome.
They've never bit me or anything. Maybe that's why.
They're cute.
In fact, I was able to pet one on the head. And I raised some babies for a week. We found some Canadian goose babies hiding under a car once, and one of the neighbors had hurt its mama. So we took care of them. And I was a kid, so I don't know what happened to them after a while. I guess they went off on their own. We had a lake up in the mountains, and well, we didn't have the lake. We had access to a lake up in the mountains. And I think they went on their own there.
I was going to say, wow, you owned a whole lake?
I wish. So, yeah, I'm going to sign off, guys. I do appreciate you hanging out, watching what we're doing, even if it's boring over there. We'll take some notes. So if we want to get maybe a closer camera angle, or while we do this, we have Rich out here and entertain you with making balloon animals or something. We could do that.
Dance a little jig for us.
Yeah. I mean, you know, let us know. If you are going to tune in and watch some of this after the fact, then let us know those things.
That's what you think.
Yeah, so we're doing Fannie assembly. You see Jesse went pretty good on doing his stage over here and prepping the fans on the base plate, the power board. Well, we call it the power board, but it's a circuit board that distributes power, the LED boards, and the first steps of the risers in the back. And then on my stage, I'll show it here. We're putting all the side pieces on, aligning everything, and then the frosted top. Over the frosted top, the next stage after this would be to put on the black and then the colored trim and acrylic weld them. I also already tested the pieces, and then after the acrylic welding, then we could do a test again and sliding in the bags and in the packaging. And so we'll be doing that tomorrow, but we'll probably not stream that. So we'll sign off.
Have a great night, guys.
Watch Jesse as I end the stream.